Okay, so you want to open a coffee shop. You picture the smell of fresh espresso drifting through the room, regulars greeting you by name, and the quiet satisfaction of being your own boss. It sounds like the perfect small business. It isn't nearly that simple. Before you sell a single cup, you have to build the space. Leasing a commercial unit in a good location is only the beginning. Plumbing for sinks and drains, ventilation for espresso machines, electrical upgrades, and seating all have to be installed or renovated before you open the doors. A modest build-out can easily run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars once equipment, permits, and design are included. Equipment alone is a major expense. A commercial espresso machine, grinders, a walk-in cooler, and a point-of-sale system can cost tens of thousands of dollars before a single bean is brewed. Many new owners lease equipment instead of buying outright, which lowers the upfront cost but adds a recurring monthly expense that never goes away. Not every coffee shop operates the same way. Some are small counter-service cafes with minimal seating. Others are large third-wave roasteries with in-house roasting equipment and retail bags of beans for sale. Each model carries different startup costs, staffing needs, and profit potential, which is why two coffee shops on the same street can have completely different financial outcomes. Revenue comes primarily from drink sales, and the math looks appealing at first glance. A cup of coffee that costs a shop 50 cents in beans and milk can sell for $4 or $5. That markup looks enormous on paper. The problem is everything else surrounding that cup. Labor is usually the largest ongoing cost. Baristas need training, shifts must be covered from opening to close, and turnover in food service is notoriously high, meaning owners are constantly hiring and retraining. Add payroll taxes, scheduling software, and the wages themselves, and labor alone can consume close to a third of total revenue. Rent is the second major drain, and it rarely stays fixed. Many commercial leases include annual increases, meaning the same location can become significantly more expensive over a 5 or 10-year term. Add utilities, insurance, and routine maintenance, and fixed costs climb, whether the shop is busy or empty. Then there's waste. Milk spoils, pastries go stale, baristas make mistakes on orders. Every wasted product quietly eats into that appealing markup until the real margin looks far thinner than the sticker price of a latte would suggest. This is why most coffee shops operate on net margins of only a few percentage points, even when they appear busy from the outside. High foot traffic does not automatically mean high profit. A shop can be packed every morning and still barely break even once rent, labor, and waste are subtracted. Consider Espresso Royale, a Midwest coffee chain that once operated dozens of locations near college campuses. For years, it thrived on steady student traffic and low competition. As national chains expanded and rent climbed near university districts, margins tightened until the company filed for bankruptcy and closed its remaining stores. Popularity alone hadn't been enough to offset rising costs. So what separates the coffee shops that survive from the ones that quietly close within their first few years? Volume matters enormously. A shop that sells 400 drinks a day has dramatically more room for error than one selling 80. Location drives that volume more than almost any other factor, which is why the most successful independent shops often cluster near offices, transit hubs, or dense residential blocks. Secondary revenue also makes a meaningful difference. Retail bags of coffee, branded merchandise, food pairings, and loyalty programs that encourage repeat visits all add margin on top of the core drink business, often with less labor costs per dollar earned. The rise of delivery apps has added another layer of pressure. While delivery expands a shop's reach, commission fees can take 15 to 30% off the top of every order, quietly compressing an already thin margin even further. Despite the risks, coffee shops remain one of the most attempted small businesses in the country, precisely because the entry point feels achievable compared to owning a hotel or a shopping mall. That accessibility is exactly why competition stays so intense in nearly every city.
In the end, a coffee shop is rarely just a coffee business. It's a real estate bet, a labor efficiency challenge, and a volume game disguised behind a $4 cup of espresso. The owners who succeed aren't necessarily the ones who make the best coffee. They're the ones who understand that every cup sold is competing against rent that never stops rising and labor that never stops changing. The smell of espresso drifting through the room is real. So is the fine print behind it.